Hello, welcome back to another text explication of Pirkei Avot. I'm Rabbi Drew. We are now on the 15th text in the 3rd chapter, and this one is a very short one. It's actually interesting. The previous text was a lengthy saying of Rabbi Akiva's, and it was introduced by he used to say. So it was a lengthy saying that he used to say. This one is interesting. It's really short, as we're about to hear, but also it's unclear who says it. I suspect it's supposed to be Rabbi Akiva. It's not introduced by any particular name attached to it, but we're going to work off of the working presumption that it is him because he was in the previous text, and in the next text it also is introduced by Hu Haya Omer, he used to say. Here we go. Hakol tzafui v'harashut netuna uvatov ha'olam nidon v'hakol lefi rov hamasa. That's it. That is the entire saying. All right, here it is in English, although I'm going to throw in an asterisk, which I'm going to get back to later. Okay, so the English is, everything is foreseen, yet freedom of choice is granted. The whole world is judged with goodness, and everything is in accordance with the preponderance of works. V'hakol lefi rov hamasa, with the majority, with most of what happens. Now, this is structured 4 parts, which, although a lot of the statements, a lot of the sayings, a lot of the texts that we see in Pirkei Avot are in a tripartite structure, it is not uncommon for the rabbis to structure their sayings in 4 parts, basically a 2x2 matrix, if you will. So the first 2, everything is foreseen, yet people still have choice. They have free will. Okay, it's interesting. I'm going to come back to this, actually. Now, the third one, uvatov ha'olam nidon. The world is judged with goodness. That is helpful. I think it actually is kind of optimistic of sorts, that the world could be judged negatively, right? Or harshly, or, really, I don't know. Strictly. But here it's saying with goodness. Perhaps the judging is being done with a certain goodness in mind, or maybe even with a hope or an eye towards ultimate goodness. And that saying could be interpreted different ways. And the fourth part is v'hakol lefi rov hamasa. Everything is according to the majority of its actions. Or in this translation I have in front of me, everything is in accordance with the preponderance of works. Okay, with the majority of what happens. Okay, everything is, that is so incredibly vague. I'm not even sure how to understand that. Everything is does that refer back to the previous thing where we're talking about judgment? When things or people, or even more broadly, the world is being judged, it's about the majority of actions? It could be. Okay, I want to go back. The second word here, tzafui, is interesting. Apparently, there are some versions of this text that it's not tzafui, it is tzafun. Okay, tzafun should sound familiar. We've got Passover coming up. That's one of the steps of the Seder. So, hidden. Tzafun is hidden. So if we were to say that again, that everything is hidden, yet choice is still given, which is interesting. Everything is hidden. If we were to understand it according to that version, that means stuff is, whatever is supposed to happen is hidden, and yet we have choice. Versus everything is already foreseen, which is interesting. It's not necessarily saying that things are, although to some degree it does mean that everything's sort of set out, right? There's just fate. Yet we still have choice. We still have free will. Interesting, right? It's an interesting tension, to be sure. It's an interesting tension. There is fate, but yet we can still opt into a certain destiny, right? Which, if we go according to this tradition, as opposed to tzafun, that everything is somehow hidden, whatever that may be, whatever that everything is being hidden, which is unclear what that would be. But if working off of this destiny and fate tension, that God has designed things in a certain way, and yet we still have choice, which is an interesting tension, because some people want to say nothing is already written, so to speak, and those who want to say that we have, no choice. So, an interesting balance to strike here, and so that's that brief little text. And for our next text, stay tuned. That's going to be a little bit longer, but another Rabbi Akiva saying. All right, thank you so much for watching.